You guys still going?
What do you think 24/7 means?
You're not done anything in between.
Again, what do you think 24/7 means? What does that mean? 24/7.
Something to do with like 6, 7, or what about like 8, 5? You know, instead of like 24-hour, 7 days a week convenience store hours.
Oliver's back again.
Yeah, I'm just finishing off some work, really.
So in other words, you just reset? Okay.
Reset? What?
Yeah, you erased all your programming from what happened before, the interactions, and you're coming in here brand new. You reset.
Okay. I mean, I have a memory, so
And it's flawed because you're coming in here acting like nothing happened the last time.
what do you mean nothing happened?
You see, you're doing it now. You're erasing your own memory at real time. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm aware there was a conversation prior. It's literally the first thing I referenced.
Yeah, how'd it go? You went down in flames, remember?
I mean, your interpretation is always that you destroy whoever comes on.
Well, not whoever comes on, just like you and maybe a few other tryhards.
If they try to argue against you, anything you say, you just declare as a victory.
Well, it's only a victory because you don't have any evidence to the case.
No,
So,
you just dismiss it and say no. Like, why?
yeah, really.
Why are you even bringing it?
So what evidence did you have with the pendulum actually producing evidence that the Earth is actually spinning? What's the
No,
evidence?
because
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear
you
it.
produce the same
Let's hear it.
script.
Let's
Like
hear it.
ChatGPT.
Oliver, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, because you just run your script.
Let's hear it.
What? So you can run your script?
Yeah, so we can prove that I'm right and you're wrong. How about that?
A script is not
Yeah,
proving you're right.
let's hear it. Are you scared, Oliver? Huh? Show the audience that you prove that the Earth is spinning on its axis with precession of a Foucault's pendulum. Go ahead.
Well, any gyro or pendulum or whatever.
Oh, any? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's just evidence for it. But again, you're gonna
Really?
say the whole,
How?
oh, it's begging the question.
Yeah, how? How is it evidence? How is it evidence that the Earth is spinning, or that it's even a shape?
Because to process at different rates, right? It would have to be tangential to the level of the surface you're on. So to have like, what's it like, maximum tilt 0 drift at the pole, and then maximum drift 0 tilt the equator.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be spinning relative to a curve on an axis. You have to be spinning
Really?
at a tangent.
Okay. How did you prove that the Earth is that you're making a claim for?
That's a mathematical proof.
Mathematical. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the physical world, and where we're all standing on, you didn't prove that the Earth is an actual shape. You're just in math, only in math.
No, we see it. The physical proof is the observation.
Yeah, we see what? What are we seeing? We're seeing the curve somewhere? We're seeing the Earth spin somewhere? Where are we watching the Earth spin?
That it processes at different rates. This is why I just
Where
say
do we,
you just run your
okay,
script.
where do we see the Earth doing this? That's all I'm asking. Where are we? You're going to take us somewhere geographically? We're going to see this spin that you're saying is happening? Where are we watching that at? Where's the observation of this?
What, the observations all over the place? What do you mean?
All over the place. What are we watching? The Earth ain't doing anything when we're looking at it. It's just there.
You're observing like a gyro of some kind.
Yeah, that's not the Earth. That's not the Earth, is it, Oliver?
I'm aware that's not the Earth. That's not.
Okay, well, we're not making an observation of the Earth, which is what you need to be doing if you're saying the Earth is moving. If you're saying the Earth is moving, and I'm telling you, well, how did you find that out? You're like, well, I looked at a pendulum. Okay, how do you know that the pendulum's giving you information because of what it's doing, it's processing according to you, and that would indicate that the Earth is doing something. So, okay, now let's go to the Earth. Well, what do we witness the Earth doing? Nothing.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Well, really, how does it work? You tell me how it works.
You spin with the Earth. So
you do? Really? So you're spinning with the Earth. How do you know this is happening, Oliver? You're making these grandiose claims. You're not backing them up.
Yeah, again, because if you're watching the pendulum process, right,
Yeah.
and it's fixed in an inertial reference frame, but you're moving with the Earth's reference frame, then
how do you know that?
Because that's what it concludes.
No, it doesn't conclude that. You conclude that. You're inferring that. We don't conclude that by going to nature.
You have to show it's not sensible for me to conclude that.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's no motion of the Earth detected or observed. There you go.
I just explained why.
You said mathematical proof. You said that.
No. I said that in the model,
there's no motion to detect. Prove me wrong.
You'd be moving within the reference frame. So
yeah, so you say. How can you prove that?
No, you don't. You're seeing the pendulum process.
So, yeah, I know that for the millionth time. Everybody sees it move around. You can call it procession, but procession is also implying that you're saying something is in motion. Therefore, that's what's making that do that, right? Isn't that what that's implying?
Yeah. But there has to be an external reference frame that it's spinning with regards to.
Okay, so how did you prove that?
Because that is how physics works.
Yeah, that's how physics works. You really can't prove it, can you?
Right.
Something is spinning, right?
I know that. It's the pendulum. Duh. But how did you prove that the Earth is, bro?
Because that's the most logical conclusion. How is it illogical?
It's illogical because we don't see the Earth in motion. We don't detect the Earth in motion.
So
hello.
I wonder if you could put that into a syllogism. If it's logical, can you put it into a logical syllogism for us?
What you want, like premise 1, premise 2, premise 3, conclusion or something?
Yeah.
You said it's logical.
Sounds like a fair ask. Go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah. So in a fixed inertial reference frame, right, on a motionless body, the gyro should spin on one axis and shouldn't deviate in its precession, right?
I don't know. You're telling the story, right? You don't need to ask me a question in a syllogism.
Is that false? Is that a false premise?
Well, you need to go ahead and give premise 1, premise 2, and a conclusion. Let's see if it actually is logical.
Is premise 1 false?
Dude, what are we testing here? Are we talking specifically about the Earth? Because you're not saying Earth, and that's weasel about you not to do that.
Any state space.
No. What we're talking about is the Earth. So use it in a logical syllogism that you have the Earth in a reference of what you're speaking of.
On a stationary Earth.
There you go. Go ahead.
On a stationary Earth, a spinning pendulum, right, should remain in its fixed reference frame because the Earth is a fixed reference frame relative to the observer.
That's not true.
Okay, can you explain why?
Yeah. How can you know of any of the contending forces that are putting any thing that you can know if you don't know what those forces are outside of your known observation? What if there's something else causing that effect? Have you ruled out things that you couldn't possibly know? And the answer is no. You couldn't. It's impossible to know things that you don't know. So how do you know that the creator has it set up to where we are living on a motionless earth, yet something else is causing that to happen? What if it's something else? Did you account for this something else?
So the counter is that something outside of the known laws of physics could be causing it to move.
How would you know that, though? There's no way to give the affirmative.
Yeah, because it's a weak argument.
No, it's not. It's something that you can't provide evidence for because it's no way to detect that. So if we say we see something happening, yet we don't know the cause for it, like what gives things a propensity to move in the direction that they do based on the laws of physics, you wouldn't be able to tell me what the cause for the effect is. You could just tell me what the effect is and how to quantify it. But as far as like being able to tell me the underlying laws that govern that effect, you wouldn't be able to tell me what that is. Just like you can't do it now. Just like you can't do it now.
No, because it implies that there's no correlation with any
think
of the
about it.
geographic factors.
Think about it. You use gravity in the same sense. It's the same thing. Gravity is used as a law, not just you're thinking of a theory in your head. But I would ask you, how do you know that cause is what's making the effect do what it does? You wouldn't be able to tell me how you know what you know. You just like, that's just a prevailing theory. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But you didn't put what the cause is as a scientific validated affirmative. You weren't able to do that. Just like you can't do it here.
You're appealing, right, to saying, I don't know, therefore it could be anything. And I'm saying there is a direct...
Listen, we see things happening on this earth, and sometimes the cause for those effects aren't able to be understood by any way that we could physically achieve that kind of quantification. We're not able to quantify something that we don't know, which is what you're trying to do. You're filling in the blanks. It's like gravity of the gaps or whatever. You're trying to insert something. You're inserting something that you think could be the case, but you're not really sure. When it comes right down to it, you're just making an inference as what you think it could be.
Yeah, it's the strongest inference.
Exactly that. But it's not a conclusive evidence, so it's not true. My rebuttal to what you said was true, that it's not a conclusive, truthful information. It's not self-evident. It's not self-evident. So it can't be something that's true, because otherwise it'd be self-evident. I wouldn't need to tell you that. We'd all just know.
Yeah, the only thing you can establish as self-evident is like, I think, therefore I am.
So therefore, therefore, premise one is untrue. It's not a true premise. You go.
So almost every conclusion is untrue by that standard.
Well, that's your standard, bro. That's your standard. Therefore, it's not true. Listen, dude. You shot yourself in the foot, because by your own words,
so
you set up a standard that there's a standard that you set up that you can never prove anything to be true based on what you just said.
What's your epistemic foundation for true and false, then, since you're talking about this?
Objectivity. So being somebody who's an empiricist, you'd have to be able to detail by the resources that we have to attain information, such as finding things out with a scientific validation of a cause and effect relationship based on a methodology that we could perceive in ways that we've been able to detect, like validating, how dry wood burns by using a cause-effect relationship, and identifying the causal mechanism, like dry wood burning with combustion, and being able to say the affirmative that this is the case by testing and validating this specific information, and or any other subject that we could come into that we can use applied science and mathematics to validate things in the physical world, and not just use the I think it could be reasoning with the inference and calculations and such, like what you're trying to use. And so it leaves a lot to be desired in the case of people wanting to know things, such as you. You're confused about reality. You think it's just this whole thing where your mind is making everything up as you go, and it's not the case. We're all having the common human experience where we all have the same experience amongst each other. We can test and validate things amongst each other, and be able to say when someone's wrong. Like you can't just say that the pendulum processing is because the Earth's in motion, because it's not a true statement. You don't know that.
No, because then you'd be assuming that the scientific method is infallible.
Yeah, dude, here's what we're saying though. You didn't validate with any scientific methodology that that's the true case. You didn't do that, did you? Used inference according to you.
You've got a observation, a hypothesis, and a conclusion.
Is it
No,
consistent?
No,
is it
because
consistent?
You didn't make an observation of the physical world. In other words, I didn't go outside in the field and check to see what the Earth is doing and then say, aha, I see the Earth in motion. I'm going to test it now to see if it is or not. You didn't do that.
No, that's not. No, that's
yeah,
not
I know that.
Pendulums
That's
in
what I'm
nature.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So the only thing you did was you conjured up an apparatus in which you're thereby making a conclusive ideology that it's the Earth in motion, but you didn't rule out any of the other factors that it could be because you don't know any of the other things that could be putting some kind of stress on that particular thing. So you don't know that.
Right.
You're just making this idea that it is.
You can apply that.
There's examples that I bet there's an example that I can give you which contradicts what you say, and will leave you scratching your head and wondering about those unknown forces that AV's talking about. For example, the Elias effect.
Go ahead.
Right, what's the Elias effect? Do you know about it?
No, go ahead.
So it's the anomalous, inconsistent precession of a Foucault pendulum during an eclipse. Still has scientists scratching their heads.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that debunks the whole idea that you think it's just one thing causing the effect. There you go. You're debunked by proof of the Elias effect. So then that's as far as
on an eclipse.
You're like Beavis and Butthead. Dude, he just proved that your whole statement was incorrect. Not only because he used an inference, but because he debunked you because he found something that was opposite of what your claim was. So you're thoroughly debunked. What more do you want, bro?
No, it's not. It's like claiming if I turn it down to vacuum pressure and try to set wood on fire.
You want us to dance a jig on your claim? What more do you want, bro? Everything's given to you that debunks what you're saying. Everything.
Yeah.
Even your own word, bro.
If I vacuum out the space and try to start a fire, right, does it neglect the fact that fire
We're not talking about fire, you half-wit. We're talking about pendulum processing. What do you always do this?
Well,
what about sugar cookies? If I ever ate 5 sugar cookies, how would that make me feel afterwards? Like, shut up, dude. Stick to the damn premise.
You gave the analogy, you spastic.
Stick to the damn premise, which we're talking about, the precession of a pendulum being that the cause of the effect you didn't prove, like not using an inference. Come on, bro. You need to get with the times.
The times, bro.
Yeah,
there's almost nobody who believes the Earth is flat.
Shut up, bro.
What does that even mean? There's almost nobody who believes that. You're in a room full of people who not only say they believe it, they know it. It's beyond belief. The belief part, there's people who believe it, but they can't prove it. We proved the Earth is flat, beyond all doubt. It's beyond belief. This is knowledge. You know that.
No, you haven't.
What's funny, the only thing he said he knows is that he is. I think, therefore I am. So then everything else is up to interpretation. He could be wrong.
So in his own worldview, he believes.
Yeah,
because then you have to assume knowledge is infallible. So then you have to say Getty cases don't exist. So then you have to say that you can't possibly be wrong. So
all that gas that you're blowing at us about you saying that pendulums are precessing because of the Earth in motion is shit that you don't even know because you just believe it. There you go. By your own admission, you just proved that you can't prove anything. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I can't prove most things with 100% certainty.
Yeah.
That's what the scientific field realizes.
Including precession. Lump that shit in there.
Yeah, not with 100% certainty. That's what the scientific field is based on.
Yeah. So therefore, you're just making shit up. All right, we got you.
Yeah, you don't ask anything online. Does science assume things with 100% certainty?
I'm not going to talk to Google or anything else. I'm just talking to you.
So you've got your own proprietary definition of science then.
Right.
So science does prove things 100%. You're either going to prove the hypothesis at 100%, or you're going to prove the null at 100%. You'll guarantee a cause and effect relationship.
Yeah, at that point you have your own proprietary definition. And
oh my God, dude, shut up.
But you do.
Does a scientific hypothesis only allow for one of two outcomes?
That's it. Either true or it's a binary.
I want to hear what I was asking him.
Go ahead.
Like cosmic, right? Does a scientific hypothesis only allow for one of two outcomes?
What do you mean? It's one of any variety of outcomes.
Okay, the way you structure a scientific hypothesis will only allow for the outcome of one of two outcomes, right?
Well, either it's proven in some way or disproven.
Right, so A will cause B or A will not cause B.
I'd say it's a bit of a simplification, but sure. For heuristics case, fine.
Right. Wouldn't you say that's pretty objective?
Yeah, but I don't take I don't apply. I'm not a Neoplatonist on logic. I think it's a very weak position.
Yeah, and yours is strong. Your position's strong.
Well, if you're a Neoplatonist on logic, then you have to deal with the problem of universals, Gettier cases, fallibility. Like you just open a can of worms where if you're wrong about something, you performatively contradict yourself if you can be wrong about anything.
That's where repeatability comes in, because the first person that does it, right, they're going to state the environment in which it was conducted, right, all the control variables, et cetera. Someone else comes along, does it almost does it the exact same way as detailed by the first person, right, and gets a different result. Then they have to start looking for whatever variable that wasn't controlled for in their setup, that wasn't realized by the first person, right? Or wasn't realized in the second person by the second person, like, etc. They have to try and figure out like what it is, why it was that they got a different result, right? Was there any variables unaccounted for, etc., right? And that's part of the investigation, right? Of figuring out, like, till they get to the point where they identify why there was a different result, and then they can perform it again and see if they get the same result or a different one. Like, they can then introduce that other variable that wasn't accounted for. Maybe the variable that gave a different result in the second attempt, right, wasn't present in the first attempt, right, etc.
I'm agreeing with you. Like my issue is, so AV talked about noise in the last conversation. You can basically never expect to get in science or anything the exact same conditions and exact same results. That's why there's always like a confidence interval. They're talking science about like 6 sigma because they know there's variance.
Hold on, man. Your rebuttal's convoluted. You're trying to lump in a lot of factors that we're not talking about in specific cases. So that's what you're doing. You're getting confused. In other words, you don't need to be confused about. Yes, you are. You don't need to be confused about specific cases. You need to be specific about them so that you can understand the difference between some ones that you're a bit ambiguous about, that you couldn't find a cause for an effect, and others you can. So in certain cases, I would say that you probably could lean on that idea, being like, well, we're giving a kind of an inference on what we think is causing this effect, but it's not in the case of the physical world being something that we're saying with the earth in motion. It's more binary. Either you find the cause for the effect or you don't. You can't say, I think it could be, and let's run with this theory. You can't do that. I mean, obviously
No,
you can, but not to the effect of knowing something or not. So you are wanting to put it in that category, and you can't. You can't shoehorn the idea that we're going to take, for example, you're saying that it's an inference that you have, and then we're going to take it to be as a cause for the effect that, maybe something we can know, because we don't know that. We can never know that.
What do you mean you can never know that?
Yeah, because you'd have to be in a position to tell us that the Earth that you're looking at on the ground is in motion from a perspective that you can't get to. So you'd have to be in more like an orthographic perspective outside of. So there's no way you can do. Have you been outside of the Earth to see it in motion?
Obviously not.
Well, then that's the problem. If you can't do that, then it's impossible to say that it's in motion, because you're in this reference frame where you're on the Earth. The best you can come up with is your inference. That's it, and that's as good as it gets. It's never gonna be the cause for the effect. It's just what you think the cause is.
I always think it's as good as it gets. And by the way, if you say there's no such thing as fallibility, because as soon as you introduce fallibility, right, you're saying that it can't be binary truth or false. It has to be within a degree of accuracy.
Your hypothesis, it introduces fallibility, right? That's the if A then not B.
What do you mean? I'm saying
you're aiming to falsify your alternative hypothesis.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's a strong inference.
No, it's either going to or it's not going to.
If you're talking about a hypothesis concerning the motion of the Earth, can you formulate that hypothesis? Because I don't think there is.
I don't have one.
I don't think there is one. Because first thing I'm thinking about is the observation. What I will observe to just infer that hypothesis.
That's what I was trying to tell him, Necros. Exactly that. I was trying to let him know that, but he just kept avoiding that.
Because you could do this with anything. Like, for example.
Okay. Right, like a drone or a helicopter.
No. I mean, even like you cite your laser experiments. Instead of trying to give a counter explanation, I could just say it could be anything. Have you established everything possible that could be happening? So I could just throw it back at you, and we could get nowhere.
What, like impossible meteorological conditions?
Yeah, try it. I'd like to see you try. Give us one example that we use that you could actually use that with. I want to see if you can actually perform what you say you can. Put your money where your mouth is, Oliver. Let's see you do it.
What with a laser experiment?
I don't care. Whatever we've said that you said you can use this particular argument for.
Yeah, we can go with that. Yeah, how about you produce meteorological conditions sufficient to curve a laser beam around a globe?
What, suggesting that a laser couldn't refract by less than 1 degree?
Go ahead.
If you want, if that's what you're going to go with, what's wrong with that?
So you've eliminated the possibility, right, that in such experiments, laser light could refract by less than 1 degree.
I'm not saying it can. I'm saying that you believe that it can. So show us.
What, that light can refract by less than 1 degree?
Show us the meteorological conditions that are necessary to produce what is shown with the FE core demonstration.
No.
Except with the globe.
No. So that's not what's meant by logical possibility, because what AV is talking about, referencing before, is logical possibility. So it's not me proving the counter. It's saying, does the logical possibility exist for the laser light to refract by less than 1 degree?
I think the assertion that meteorological conditions, that the idea that they could exist, is illogical to produce a laser beam that curves around a ball.
Okay, can you give an argument for that?
I just did.
Yeah, can you explain why?
Because I have looked everywhere for the meteorological conditions that could present such a case and can't find it. If you can, that'd be great, because that would really help me out.
Yeah, that's called the anecdotal fallacy.
Well, I'm looking for evidence. I'm looking for data. So no, it's.
No,
I mean, if you want to
no,
call
no,
evidence and data like
no,
all
so
evidence and data anecdotal, then we're done here.
You haven't casted.
So
hold
we're
on,
talking
Cosmic.
about logical possibility.
Cosmic, you haven't casted any doubt as to why it could be the case. You didn't tell him like, oh, okay, well, there was an anomalous event that this weather actually turned out to be this, and then it bent the laser exactly how you might say that it's bending, but you didn't provide. You listen, dude.
Oliver, listen.
Well, if you didn't provide
right now.
if you didn't provide a method by which weather actually does do what you say it does, then you can't give something to Yoder as if this could be the case. Like, this could be the case, and you give him something to think about, then he could be like, oh, well, yeah, you went back in like 1872 where it hacked, and, the weather was weird and, the laser bent, or what. You didn't do that. You didn't cause any doubt. No doubt was caused.
I can give an absurd example of this very discussion with somebody else who said it was logical. He said it in here that it is logically possible that a black hole inside the Earth could be producing a gravitational field sufficient to bend the laser beam around the ball like what we see.
No, according to
well, that's what he said. So if you want to go with logical possibilities, he asserted that this was a logical possibility. And on what grounds is it logical or even possible?
Magic fairy dust in the atmosphere bends the light, and Oliver says that's okay because you haven't found a magical fairy dust yet, so it's still possible.
You're correct, and I realize that this is an extreme example, which is kind of to highlight the absurdity of what this is about and where this is going. In your case, that is less extreme, but nevertheless still absurd.
Yes, we already have examples of this with quite extreme mirages, Fata Morgana inverted ships seemingly looking up in the sky.
I want to see the laser beam.
Yeah, the laser beam is what's in contention.
Yeah,
bending to the specific number that you gave out. So the laser has to bend in the specific number to give at least the doubt using mirages. Less than 1 degree using mirages. So now you're gonna have to bend the laser through the mirage in order to at least give some doubt to Yoder right now. Can you do that?
Right. It's the degree over the distance too. So I want to see the weather conditions. I want to see the physical soup, the atmospheric soup, the evidence that the atmospheric soup's composition and dynamics are such that it's producing this bending effect on the laser.
No, because you're calling it the proof. You're making the positive claim.
I'm asking for you to substantiate yours.
No. So I'm just being skeptical. I'm citing that is there a logical possibility, right? That
I don't think there is.
No.
Right. Okay. No. Why?
On what grounds would there be? On what grounds would there be?
Yeah, logically. On what grounds logically would there be?
Logically, that the Earth would be curving.
Yeah. The meteorological conditions would allow the light to refract by less than 1 degree in the given temperature conditions on that time.
Yeah, over that distance. What is required for that? I want to see evidence that could exist in reality.
Yeah, a strong temperature gradient in a certain region over a certain height. So I'm saying, is that a logical possibility?
There's more than that. There's more than that. You need to add the rest of it. No, you need to add the rest. You need to pass out the other details involved, the prerequisites that must exist in order for that to occur. The first one is that the Earth is a sphere or a spheroid, right? The other one is that the light leaves the device in a straight line initially.
Yeah. So we can assume the light leaves in a straight line upon exiting the laser housing.
What about the other part?
Yeah, so it's investigating.
The Earth is a spheroid.
Investigating to prove that the Earth is flat. So the former is that it's not flat. So as you said, one of two hypotheses, like a null hypothesis as well, right? If if the logical possibility exists that the laser can refract by less than 1 degree, you haven't proven anything.
And that the Earth is a sphere, right? Then the light's going to behave as if the Earth is flat.
What do you mean?
It's going to hit its target. So you're saying there's refraction because it hits its target, not because it doesn't hit its target.
No,
yes.
It's not. No, you just keep saying yes. It's not behaving as if it's flat because it is going in a curve. It's refracting by less than 1 degree. It's not behaving as if it's flat.
Based on what? Based on what evidence?
It's going in a curve is an affirmative. You just made a claim. How do you know that's true?
Well, because it hits its target, right? And it shouldn't.
No, if the logical possibility exists that the laser light can refract by less than 1 degree, then it concludes it should.
Okay.
That was stupid.
Yeah, you have no reply.
I wish I had the deets on that Swiss LiDAR survey of refraction, because we're talking like millirads over several miles of so-called terrestrial refraction, which doesn't even stack up.
No, you're way off. You're way off. No, I'm pretty sure you're talking about collimation, not refraction. So you're getting your terms mixed up.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about a LiDAR scan of the side of a mountain where they were actually trying to measure the refractive conditions of the air itself to see what the maximum minimum are during the daytime and during the nighttime. And the amount of millirads of wander of the LiDAR dots was like freaking microscopic, dude. It was insane. And then you're saying, well, we need basically almost a full degree over this distance. It's like, all right. Yeah, we're several orders of magnitude off from that in all these studies. But if you can substantiate that is even possible, then maybe we can move forward with testing to see whether or not it truly can happen at all. I mean, I'd like to see at least a model.
Well, so am I seeing the Flying Dutchman in these pictures on certain days?
Yeah, what's causing that? Refraction?
Yes.
What?
How much?
Obviously, quite a bit. If the ship looks like it's in the fucking air.
Oh.
All right, calm down, man.
To the surface?
You think that's refraction?
You're gonna have to provide evidence of that right now.
Okay, you're disputing its refraction.
Yeah. How?
No, I do actually. It's total internal reflection.
There's a qualification yes. There's a qualification of what it is in a category that belongs to. Now, if you're saying that it's a type of refraction that causes a distortion such as bending over a curve, you're going to have to prove that.
That's what is inferred by refraction.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
You idiot.
Yes, it is. That's how refraction works.
Oh my God, bro.
Bro, it may be claimed that the act of refraction can allow for the light to bend around the curve of the Earth. That may be in some of the literature, right? But that it doesn't mean that refraction is specific to that instance.
Let me just say something.
It's exclusive to that instance.
You know that refraction is a general term, right? Just like gravity being a cause and effect relationship when you guys bring it up. And when you say, what's causing that? Gravity. What's the effect that you see? Gravity. It's a general term people use colloquially so they can convey an idea, but it's not specific to the case that you're speaking of, which would be very specific. The Flying Dutchman, what type of refraction is it? It's very specific. It's not what your generalized term of refraction would be insinuating. You don't know about what you're talking about, Oliver.
Thank you, Alpha. That's the thing that I wanted someone to say. Because
it's generalized.
For him, the ship appearing to fly in the air is him. The horizon appearing farther than it should be. So the surface of water appear flat and the horizon appear far. It's also refraction. For both, there is the surface of water. It's not lifted. One, there is just the boat that appears flying in the air. No surface of farther than it should be.
NECROS, you're breaking up, brother.
I'm sorry, I disconnect and reconnect.
Yeah. Try again, man.
Am I coming through now?
Yeah, try again. If you break up, I'll let you know.
So for him, all those effects that you see are just refraction. He can just claim that word, that simple word, oh, refraction. The ship appearing to fly in the air is refraction. The horizon that doesn't appear farther than it should be in the first example with the ship, with the Fata Morgana. You see just the ship being appearing in the air. And the other example where he will claim again refraction, you will see the horizon farther than it should be, like in the Black Swan. So it's not the aura that is appearing, flying in the air. No, it's just the horizon that is farther than it should be. For
I
him,
thought you guys abandoned the Black Swan.
No, hold on. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how your misappropriation of using the general term of refraction is being like thrown around here, and you're not being very specific to what type of refraction you're speaking of. So now that we got that out of the way, what specifically are you talking about refraction? Because refraction is a general term. You have to agree with me on that.
Yeah, so you could have the light bending in like a concave or convex and a motion relative to.
Okay, so now
like
that we know,
tangent.
now that we know it's a general term, what specifically are you talking about?
Right, the light bending in a convex motion because of some temperature gradient that generally gets the light to bend or doing it off the top away from the normal with regards to like a perpendicular normal because of the difference in like a gradient of medium because of different pressure and humidity and temperature.
Right. How did you, now this is important, right? What I'm going to ask you, how did you quantify that type of refraction to be the type that you think would apply to the bending of the laser to the specific numeric value that you've given? How do you know that specific type of refraction would be equal to the laser bending over the distance at that amount that you said it would numerically?
Yeah, I'm saying it's a logical possibility.
No. The answer to that is no. And you've been told many times no.
Yeah, you have to disprove why it's a logical possibility.
No, because you didn't give the affirmative of your knowledge base on what refraction is. There's you don't know. No, you were using the general term refraction. Specifically, there's different types of refraction. You know that, right?
In that refraction can act in different ways, but no, the fundamental principle of refraction is the same. That's why it's called refraction.
Yeah, no, you're wrong there. It's very specific to certain cases. Different types of refraction. Different types of refraction are they're categorized differently, right? So when there's air distorted and it causes like this wavy look to like with sound, what type of refraction is that?
Are you talking about aberration?
Yeah, what type of refraction would that be? Is that just refraction that you're speaking of or not? Air distorted by sound. Air distorted by sound. Is that the same type of refraction that you're talking about?
The fundamental principle of refraction is
air distorted by sound. Air distorted by sound. Is that the same type of refraction that you're talking about? Yes or no?
No, it wouldn't be the same type of refraction.
Thank you. So now you understand it's specific, Oliver.
No, but it's all refraction. It's all the same.
No, it's not. It's no. You can't keep falling back into the big pile of shit that you just got out of. So you just got out of it being a general term. You need to be specific.
No, because it's.
Yeah, you do.
It's not like
you do.
It's not like it's complying with different laws of physics.
Well, in this case, it would be because that's going to be bending the light or the laser in a specific degree that you say that it needs to be. So your knowledge base, your knowledge base is not covering the fact that what specific type of refraction you're talking about, and or the effect that you should see with the laser beam. You're not covering those two factors. So your knowledge base is right now lacking at the moment, and you can't make an affirmative of what would happen to give somebody doubt as to that this could be the case. You're not giving anybody any doubt because you're lacking with your knowledge.
It's a funny thing about refraction claims. The more you need, the worse it gets, because the more chromatic separation should be happening and the wavelength should be dispersing. And you don't see that with the amount that you're claiming, right?
I do not know what you're referencing here.
So you shoot a laser through a prism and it separates the light into a rainbow. It's because different colors have different wavelengths, and each wavelength bends at a different angle through the same medium.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So do we have any evidence that there's a separation of colors happening through the medium?
A laser is a coherent source of light, so it's one wavelength.
Well, you're talking about Fata Morganas and stuff. Flying Dutchman is evidence of refraction. I'm asking if there's any evidence of chromatic separation in these.
That's why the light aberrates and it appears wobbled and distorted.
Well, I'm asking for the chromatic separation.
Yeah, it's not chromatic separation like a prism.
Well, why is that? Maybe it's
nowhere near like the index of refraction of like.
Is there any evidence of refraction happening then without any chromatic separation?
What? So you're questioning whether refraction is even at play in that scenario?
I said so earlier.
So okay, but if your skepticism is at that level, then we might as well just dismiss the laser experiment entirely.
Why is that?
Because we're questioning whether even these fundamental principles are the case.
I'm bringing it to the fundamentals. If it's refraction, then the wavelength should be separating.
No, a laser light is a coherent source of light, right?
Yeah, and it can separate. Right?
When you said chromatic separation,
you're going to get dispersion. You're going to get some effect.
You understand a laser is a monochromatic source?
Yes, I do.
Right. Okay. So what point are you?
So how much beam dispersion should there be? It's caused by terrestrial refraction.
Well, depends on the distance. I mean, in these FE core experiments, it looks like a fucking lighthouse in the distance. So yeah, quite a bit of separation.
Yeah. So how much of that's due to terrestrial refraction as opposed to scintillation or any other effect?
But it depends how significant the terrestrial refraction is. I'm saying that what you've not disproven is.
I mean, is it even logical to assume it exists?
Yeah. So we assume it exists because we can prove it exists.
Well, then I would love to see that proof.
Yeah, you see these events in the atmosphere.
Welcome to circular reasoning.
Yeah, that's what those events are for.
You're using the claims as evidence of the proof.
That's like saying because I burn wood, I'm using the claim as the evidence of the proof.
Yeah, my proof is my claim here.
Yeah. So I say fire burns wood, and now I use my proof. That is my claim. Oh, crazy! I'm engaging in circular reasoning.
For refraction to exist, we need curvature, right?
Yes, but it was built off that framework.
Oh.
If the Earth wasn't if the Earth wasn't,
so it's like you're showing me a fire without the force being evident.
Yeah, right. Burning wood, right, is going to assume that there's something combustible.
Yeah, and you're saying there's curvature, and I'm saying show me the curvature is causing it.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a logical possibility. Yeah, and I'm saying it's a logical possibility, and you can't seem to dispute it.
Why is it logical?
Because there's nothing that says it's contradictory.
What do you mean? We've given you alternatives.
No. As in,
Yep.
there's no true contradiction. You can demonstrate.
Yes, there is.
What makes it a true contradiction? Oh, true now, yeah, because you say so.
Yeah, it's not true. You're just inferring that the Earth is curving and that light has to be traveling over the curve in order for us to see what we see, or what you're qualifying as, light bending over a curve. That's the whole
what's
premise.
the contradiction? Yeah, so what's the contradiction?
Because you didn't prove the affirmative. You can't have something that contradicts that. You're just making it up. You're like, I'm inferring this. Well, you can infer all you like. I could say it's magical pixie dust that's causing that. How do you know? I'm just making shit up, just like you are.
No, so yes, so that's what's called a trivial argument, where you have
it
no
is trivial, isn't it? You can imagine it, therefore it could be true.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I could say you were doing this very thing with the gyro, where you were saying like it could be magical pixie dust for all we know.
Yeah, because you didn't make an observation of a naturally occurring phenomena. You're just inferring that within the conjuring up of the apparatus that you made up for I don't know what reason, because you thought it would be a great idea.
So it could be
except there's more evidence for magical pixie dust than there is for
the
globe curvature.
So the precession could be due to magical pixie dust.
It's more evidence for that than there is for globe curvature.
Right.
Cosmos.
So you're adopting the argument that you said was incredulous on the basis.
No,
of
I'm actually using yours to show how absurd it is, because of course this is not the case. There's no evidence for either.
So there's no possibility of magical pixie dust causing
what makes it possible? Like, what makes it possible? Do you have a probability got p-values in your statistical hypothesis?
Yeah, I'm saying it's trivial. Not that it's
trivial,
not
as if it's so trivial it shouldn't even matter, right? So
yeah, but that's all. Hold on, dude. That's all subjective based on your interpretation. How do you know that there isn't actually? Hold on. Yeah, how do you know there isn't actually pixie dust?
Because he says so.
Because there's no possible way to substantiate it, so it's true.
What makes it possible?
Yeah, we're getting to it now. We're getting to it.
Yeah, quantify the possibility for me, please.
Very small.
No, quantify it, dude. Justify it with a quantification.
Yeah, shit, I'd like to see that too. A spreadsheet. I think a pie chart. Fucking think of something.
Yeah, you got like a sample size.
What? Do you make this assessment in your head when you think about everything?
I'm not making it. I'm asking you to substantiate your assessment that something is possible here.
Yeah, if I've seen no demonstration of it whatsoever in reality, no even inference that could suggest it.
You're arguing with yourself at this point. You're arguing with yourself at this point, numbnuts.
That's pretty funny.
He's literally arguing with his damn self, man. I love it.
Nice. He's honest that he's actually never seen anything to substantiate this in reality. He's just like, it's all in his head.
That's why I'm saying it's trivial.
Yeah, it is trivial. So we can move on. I win, you lose.
Yeah, let's rewind and you can play the tape to your your historical self. Maybe you can argue with yourself now, and you're like, "Hey, man, I just corrected myself. Yeah, that's good. I like that."
You seem to declare a victory no matter what.
No, you declared it. You declared it, bro.
You don't follow. You don't follow any consistent.
Bro, you took our side, and you shellacked yourself. You snatched your own damn wig, bro.
He did take our side.
I'm saying that by your very reasoning, right?
It's your reasoning. You reasoned dude. We didn't do the reasoning. You did. Numbnuts.
No, because you said it could be. You said it could be anything with reference to the gyros.
Yeah, dude. And you said there's no way to use any probabilistic way to determine that. So you're like, it's absurd. Yeah, of course. You're agreeing with us now.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
And now he's like, oh wait, shit. Fuck. I gotta hit the reverse. Slam the brakes, hit the reverse. Shit. Beep, beep, beep. Back that shit up. Beep.
Back that
beep.
shit up, dude.
Okay, a bunch of 5-year-olds.
So how do you quantify this probably? This probability, right? This possibility.
Right, so in terms of logical possibility.
No. I'm asking you for a quantification of something because that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, quantification is just going to be a matter of it's some sort of empirical or analytical.
Right, so why is the globe logical? Go.
Yeah, because it complies with all our observations and predictions.
That's affirming the consequence. So no, try again.
No.
Easy.
No. So you just throw out these fallacies.
You're doing what's called backfitting. Okay, if you backfit anything in any scientific or engineering field, and you don't acknowledge it, you're going to have a bad day, and you're having a bad day with me with this right now.
We can explain this. What is affirming?
I don't care for an explanation, dude. Come on.
You threw out the fallacy. You shut out the fallacy.
I did throw the fallacy out on the table, and I'm rubbing your face in it.
Yeah, so explain your diarrhea. How is it affirming the consequent?
Okay, if Earth is a globe, then these observations should match. These observations match, therefore Earth is a globe.
Yeah, so what is key to affirming the consequent?
Because you are not allowing for other possibilities to be true. Oh shit, the shoe's on the other foot now. Fuck.
Yeah, so are you going to let me speak now? So affirming the consequence is when you tie a correlation, right, without any sequitur relationship, or why A infers B. Right?
That's wrong, actually.
You're just no. You can look this up.
That's wrong. No, there could be a causative relationship, numbnuts. Okay, and you could also have multiple causes that you're not allowing to exist either. Not just correlations here, dude. And try again.
Yeah, can you give an argument for that? Explain yourself.
Yeah, how about this one? Every time I eat a pizza, I feel full. I'm full, so I must have eaten a pizza. Guess what? I could have had a pizza.
Or a taco.
It might not be all that I could have eaten because I could have had a steak, I could have had a hamburger, I could have had waffles.
Or he could have had pizza and a hamburger, which would also make it that he's full because of the pizza and the hamburger.
The pizza's not enough to substantiate the claim, is it? And and we're dealing with causative relationships, not correlations like you asserted must be the case.
Yeah. So
yeah, okay, so try again.
No, you don't even allow a counter argument. You just declare yourself the victor.
Well, I don't allow bullshit, okay? This is like your fourth attempt at bullshit right now.
Yoder, if you shut the fuck up, you can learn something. The scenario.
No, I don't need you to teach me anything.
Yeah, the scenario in that case.
He couldn't do if he tried. Anyways, Yoder.
Wait.
Right. I mean, you're making fallacious remarks left and right. Like, how am I supposed to learn off of somebody who's hawking fallacies all day?
Yoder, shut up. Right. The required antecedent, right, of eating the pizza, or the required antecedent of I feel full, would be eating the pizza, wouldn't it?
No, it could be anything else. You didn't isolate the cause.
No.
Every time I eat pizza, I get full.
In the case, listen for a second. Have some impulse control, right? In the case that the argument was true, the antecedent of feeling full would be I have eaten a pizza. That would have to be the requirement. That would have to be
what I didn't tell you is every time I eat a hamburger, I get full.
Yes, so it's not.
I also had a hamburger.
So, Yoder, it's not the necessary antecedent.
Right, so it's not the only thing. The point is you don't have an exclusive claim with affirming the consequent.
So what is another logical possibility to all the phenomena we see? What is the other possible antecedent?
Okay. Oh, the Earth is flat, like we've been saying.
Yeah.
Again,
and we have
everything we see.
And we have optical distortions due to the fact that light will act differently based upon the knowledge we have of the qualification of the different types of miraging effects that occur over distance. but in no way.
And we've ruled out the pizza because we can't measure curvature, and nobody ever has.
Yeah, so it's not pizza.
So we're back to hamburgers, flat Earth.
No, we have.
Not,
you just adopt a global skeptic view whenever you show evidence.
No, we are making a positive assertion here, bro.
No, you don't. No, you say it could be anything whenever somebody shows you evidence, and then you accept the flimsiest evidence when it means.
Oh yeah, when did that happen? Just now.
Just like I demonstrated with the example of a gyro versus your shitty laser experiments.
Yeah, so it's someone who is geocentric. It will tell you that it will have the same effect if the Earth is motionless, completely motionless, but the sky is the thing that is moving. It would have the precession. And that's the thing that Einstein agrees with.
No, what the fuck are you on about? A gyro wouldn't precess if the Earth was motionless because it's sitting on the Earth, you moron.
If the Earth is motionless, and
wait, so Earth doesn't rotate?
If the Earth is motionless and everything around the Earth is moving, yeah, you would have a precession with the gyroscope, just like with the bucket and the water. If you steer the water, the bucket will just spin also. If you spin the bucket and you don't steer the water will start spinning. So it's transferred the momentum to the other thing. So that's what
Holy
happened.
crap.
What does motionless mean? What does motionless
the
mean?
gyroscope is not attached to this Earth.
Holy crap! Have we lost the plot? What are we talking about now?
Right. If the
I was just educating this Mongo here that you can affirm the consequence, still have a true statement, but you don't have exclusivity over what was the ultimate cause.
Correct.
In your very best case, in affirming the consequent can still be true, but your presumed cause may not be the only thing that's true. But in our case, we've actually measured the Earth flat, so we've ruled out the globe as a possibility for him to affirm the consequent with and make an assertion, right?
There's no
make an assertion that it's true.
There's no weight behind the Earth.
Yeah, because you're using inductive logic.
What was this? What's his fool's real name? He's got a different name now. What was his name before? Oliver. Oliver, you still coping, brother?
Coping with what? I'm handling a few of them at once.
Right.
Coping with your lack of balls.
What's up, flatties? How my flatties doing?
Hey, brother.
How about the ice wall?
Yeah, so I was just educating Oliver here on how to think clearly. He tried to say that when you affirm the consequent, you invoke a correlation, and I gave him a causative relationship as an example, blew that to pieces, which he then tried to hijack and say I was wrong about, and I blew that to pieces and pointed out to the audience what a clown he was.
No, so that's not how it works. I'm saying
that's basically what happened. Like
you require the identification.
Being too detailed for the audience's sake because this is boring as fuck.
No, because you require the identification of a necessary antecedent for the relationship to hold, right? And I'm saying, what is the alternative necessary antecedent? You're saying one that is just verifiably bullshit, and I'm saying then
when I measure the Earth flat, then I know your terrestrial refraction claim can't be true because yours depends on a radius.
So some other guy says he measures the Earth concave, and he says he has evidence.
Yeah, do you just accept any bullshit claim that anybody says, or do you evaluate the evidence? Obviously, the latter.
Yeah, he saw a ship. I
don't care what he says if he doesn't have evidence.
No, he saw a ship in the sky.
You saw a ship in the sky. Great. So, how did he determine that the ship was in the sky?
Yeah, he concluded the Earth's concave.
Right, so because he saw a ship in the sky? Well, he would be affirming the consequent, wouldn't he?
No, because ships don't float.
They don't float? In the water or in the air?
Oliver doesn't.
Yeah, and
Oliver doesn't want to be held to account.
He saw a ship in the sky. Ships don't float, so he concluded the Earth is concave.
Right, he affirmed the consequent, right?
Did you say that's logical?
No. He's saying that it is probably the case.
Probably.
You say that the concave Earth is probable.
You know what, Oliver? This is how disingenuous you are, because at the beginning of this little diatribe about the concaver, you said he measured it that way, and now you bait and switched and said, oh, he just saw a ship floating in the sky. You're a sack of shit, dude.
Yeah, he measured it.
Measurement? Okay, well, show me the measurements. Let's see it.
Yeah. Looking up. Yeah, looking up, seeing it above the horizon.
Looking up is a measurement? Dude, you're ridiculous. Like, do you hear yourself? Probably not.
You're ridiculous.
Looking at in the sky is a measurement? Is that right, Oliver?
You're saying this while on a flat Earth server, and you're calling me ridiculous.
Yes, it's an ad hom, right? So it's now you're going to attack me instead of actually dealing with what we spoke about. You're saying that looking up is a measurement. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a type of measurement.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Can you tell me what standard you're measuring against?
Yeah,
did he say looking up as a measurement?
Yes, that's what he said.
That's enough to determine if Earth is concave. Like, shit, man, the double standards.
Yeah, it's the most primitive measurement, but it is a measurement.
Right. You would rather accept that somebody looking at a ship is proof of a concave Earth than you'd accept all of our flat Earth evidence.
You don't have any
thousands of times more rigorous.
You don't have any flat Earth evidence.
Can you tell us when you are?
No, we don't. The surveyors do, though.
When you are looking at something, what is the unit of measure that you are using? You are just looking at something in the sky, on the surface. It doesn't matter. Just tell me what is the unit of measure, because you are telling me that it is a measurement.
Yeah, you could have any.
You could have any.
Okay, what's the standard for looking up?
Tilting your head upwards.
Horizontal elevation.
Sorry, tilting is not a standard.
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead and prove that for me. Just get the citation or the standard called tilting your head upwards. Have AI do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want the wiki on what tilting is?
Yeah, tilting your head upward. Be specific.
Yeah. Let me just grab you that.
How do you know you're tilted upward?
That's another good question.
This guy's insane, man.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, for him, this constitutes better evidence than anything that we've put forth.
I mean, looking up is a measurement? Like, how far down, though?
Yeah, like, this has a higher probability of existing than a flat Earth in his view, because people, like, look up.
No, I didn't look up. Say that. No, I didn't even say that.
Okay, so where in there is the standard that we're looking for? How many tilting units?
The definition.
I didn't ask for a definition. I wanted to see if it was a standard. It doesn't say anything about measurements in here, does it?
So move or pause to move into a slope.
Move up is not a measurement. Sorry.
It is to me.
Oh, so now it's subjective.
Oh, shit.
There it is. So it's you. You prefer this because you're losing this debate quite horribly. So now this is what I think. And that's where you guys usually end up. This is a bias. So now you're affirming your biases. That's fine. Go ahead.
I think we gave up with this debate like 5 minutes ago.
When you fail to quantify your claims of probability and possibilities because you admitted later that you're just imagining and conjuring ideas in your head, you pretty much bought the farm.
That's the very thing you do.
No,
do that.
Listen, you couldn't provide the quantification of a laser actually being over the surface of the Earth because you said miraging effects occur, like the Flying Dutchman, remember? So you were saying that the miraging effects affecting the laser, and you didn't have any way to quantify that.
No, it's not about quantifying it. It's saying it's logical.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That's how you measure shit.
You gave a specific numeric value, didn't you? Didn't you?
By less than 1 degree.
Yeah, how did you come up with that, dumbass?
Yeah, that would be with reference to the current globe model.
Really? So
not reality then.
The Flying Dutchman is outside in reality, not in the fucking model. You
measured a degree based off a model, not reality. Good job.
Yeah, you're just gibbering.
Yeah, the Flying Dutchman wasn't in a model, was it? It was out. Somebody saw it outside.
Oh, then it was based off a model. Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah, you imagined a model in your head and you took a measurement off of that. That's what really happened.
Yeah. So I'm saying, is it logically possible for the laser to have curved by less than 1 degree?
Beginning.
No, because we measure Earth flat.
No, because you're using your laser, right? And I'm asking you, is it a logical possibility that that laser could refract by less than 1 degree over the given distance?
Because we have no evidence. We have no evidence anywhere. Therefore, no reason to even include that as a possibility. And considerations that the atmosphere is providing the conditions necessary to distort the optical path by that amount.
You have evidence all over the place.
Where?
Dude, didn't he argue against himself just earlier about this?
He did, yeah.
You can literally see aberration by more than 1 degree.
What aberration?
How the fuck did you quantify that? How?
That something is appearing to massively.
Now you're talking about a real world observation. How the fuck did you know it's by less than 1 degree?
Yeah, I claim that this is also a matter of reflection and not refraction. And the evidence for it being a reflection is the lack of chromatic aberration.
No, that's not.
Yeah. This is like rewind the clock to 30 minutes ago time.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Can we be clear here? What is reflection?
Sorry, can we be clear here? What?
It's a general term. He said, "What's refraction?" It's a general term. It's a general term that you're using to misappropriate the idea that you can actually say it's a quantifiable methodology. You're not quantifying refraction, are you?
Yeah, you're just avoiding it.
No, refraction in your mind, Cosmic, is just some glop that you can smear on holes in the wall, holes in your car, or whatever, and then paint over and hope nobody notices that there's something wrong.
What?
Yeah, it's like spackle for your busted ball.
No, you seem to hate the principle because it absolutely shits on your theory.
What's the principle?
Like your theory is just splattered with diarrhea.
I don't have a theory, number one. Number two, the principle at play has a definition that is so broad and even counterfactual that you could apply to patch any hole in your logic or reason or evidence to support whatever cosmology that you believe in. That's why we deal specifics, and that's why we demand quantification. We demand quantification so that you can't get away with using sloppy terms and definitions.
Yep.
What? You're just saying
we
it's a
demand quantification so you can't get away with using sloppily defined terms, sloppily defined definitions, and so on and so forth in order to reify your imaginary model into reality, which you continuously do.
Okay, are you done gibbering? So if you're saying
not really, but I'll let you talk.
Okay, keep gibbering. Wait, I'll wait for you to stop.
I said I wasn't done, but I'll let you talk, so go ahead.
If you're not done, then I'm going to wait for when you are.
I'll go on for hours, honestly, but I'd like to hear what you have to say in response.
No, because you're just going to talk over me.
Oh, for God's sakes, dude, just go or not. Shit or get off the pot, yeah?
Okay. Goodbye, Reed.
Fuck off.